Hey gang, it is time for workout number 2, which is our floor circuit. So we're gonna not quite incorporate as much leg as we did last week. This is mainly gonna be a straight core circuit. There is one movement that is gonna primarily be our legs, but as we get further into it and finish it, it should also be working a lot of the low back and just some of those good trunk mechanics. So we are going to do some cat-cows, go right into a glute kick up or kick back, our Russian twist, straight arm crunches, and then we're going to finish with a bicycle crunch. So really all you need is a spot on the floor. If you have a yoga mat that you usually do this on, that's fine, but you will need a little something to also kind of tuck under your low back for one of our movements. So I'm just using my hoodie. If you have a little pillow, anything like that, we just need something to make sure we're going to kind of keep the low back rounded without having to put any strain on it. So our first movement is our cat-cow. So we're going to get into that tabletop position where I'm on my hands and knees here. Now, I usually kind of have to slide my knees back a little bit so it's not a strict tabletop, but that cat-cow is a pretty common stretch. So starting with the cow, I'm going to let my ribs drift forward, and I'm going to let my head travel with my trunk. So what I mean is I'm not going to look up, put all that strain on my neck. I want those muscles in my back to be active. So keeping my head in line with my trunk, going to my cow, and then my cat. Now, when we're doing that cat stretch, it's really easy to think of my core being from my belly button or my pant line to my ribs. The thing is, my transverse abdominal goes a lot closer to my groin. And so when I'm doing this cat-cow, this cat in particular, I want to make sure I'm trying to engage the muscles below my belly button and my pant line, not just the ones above it. These are easy to engage. This is tough. This takes a lot of conscious effort. Everything below the belly button, you really got to think about. So usually what I'll do is once I kind of get into the stretch and I don't think I can go any further, I'll just push a little bit of air out like I'm trying to blow out a candle, and that kind of gets those lower abdominals engaged. So again, going into that tabletop, keeping my head neutral with my body. And we're just going to hold each of those spots for 2 or 3 seconds. I don't want to get into a position where I'm holding this for 10 seconds or so, but hold it as long as you need to make sure you're feeling and engaging those muscles. Next thing we got is our kick up or our kickback. These are not different than movements we've done before, but last time we did not do them out of the tabletop position. So we're going to start low and gradually get higher and higher as we go through this movement. So I'm going to start with my right leg. I've shifted up so you can see my hips a little bit better. So from here, I'm going to start with this leg, and I'm going to get it up to where that glute engages. I'm going to hold it 2 or 3 seconds, release that tension, And then I'm going to try to go a little bit further, release that tension, try to go a little bit further, release that tension. And then each time, I'm just going to try to get my foot higher and higher without extending my leg. I want that knee to stay bent. So, start by engaging that glute muscle, and then we're going to take it up, and we're going to take it up, and then we're going to take it up. So try to get just another inch on each of those movements without forcing yourself forward or those ribs to drop. We already did our cow stretch. We're not looking to do it again. So if you feel that cow stretch starting to happen, your ribs starting to drop, your belly button pushing out, we're missing it. We're going too far. Maintain control and maintain good execution. So we're going to do 60 seconds on the cat-cow, 60 seconds on each leg of our kick up or our kickback, whichever you like to call it. Then we're going to go into a Russian twist. So just going to sit here, and I am putting my heels on the floor. I don't want any of this nonsense. This is nothing. I want good engagement of my abdominal muscles, and I need my feet down to do that. Sitting up nice and tall, getting a good rotation. I am not just letting my hands go to one side. I'm imagining I have a laser pointer pointing straight out from my sternum, and that is what I want to turn from side to side. If I'm just touching my hands, my trunk is not rotating, I'm missing a ton of muscles to engage there. From there, we go into a straight arm crunch. So with this, I want the legs straight out. We're laying flat with our arms up over our head in line with my ears. And from here, keeping my arms there, I'm starting with my ribs up. I'm letting that space under my back. That's fine. And then I'm pushing my ribs down to now close that space, engaging a little further, coming back. Ribs up, ribs down, up, down. Now, the reason our arms are like this, number one, is to add a little bit of leverage so that the abdominals have to pull a little bit harder. But beyond that, this is going to be an indicator whether or not you're cheating. So, as I go through this, if I do not see my arms, I'm good to go. As soon as I start to see my arms, I'm cheating. I'm using momentum. Once we get back to normal, once we get on a good workout regimen, once we get back to our machines and our variety of exercises, using a little bit of momentum is not a problem. But for right now, strict, smooth control. If going fast makes it easier, that is not the goal. The goal is to make it harder, so go slower. Don't let yourself throw your hands, and then this whole thing, grabbing onto the back of the head, we've known that's bad for years. So keep the arms straight, in line with the ear, and make sure your abdominals are doing the work. Last exercise is our bicycle. Not our bicycle crunch, our bicycle. So I'm gonna take my hoodie, I'm gonna give it one extra little fold, nice little pad here. I'm not putting this under my butt, I'm putting it under my tailbone. So just gonna lift my butt up right under the low back there. Hands on the floor to the sides. And now I'm just picking my legs up here. And then I'm gonna go through like I am pedaling a bike. Smooth movements. But again, I don't want to risk the strain on the low back. So we're pedaling as we go. Again, this is not the bicycle crunch. This is just our bicycle. So 60 seconds cat-cow, 60 seconds of the kick up or the kick back, 60 seconds on the Russian twist, 60 seconds on the straight arm crunch, 60 seconds bicycling. So I'm going to start in about 35 seconds. Again, really all you need is just something to tuck under your low back so that we don't have to worry about the strain of the low back muscles and everything pulling on that. We can just kind of let that go and do our movements nice and smooth without any stress. I want the stress on the abdominals, not on the back. All right, we are starting our cat-cow now. Keep your head neutral. Don't extend your chin. Don't tuck your chin. Remember, you are trying to find every possible muscle to engage as we go through this. Keep those elbows locked. More seconds. Doesn't matter which leg you start with. We're now going to our kickback. So activate the muscle, get a good position, hold it 3 or 4 seconds, come out, and then try to take it another inch. 3 or 4 seconds, take another inch. Oh, my triceps are trying to cramp up. Again, if you start to feel like you're going back into that cow stretch, that is not what we're after. Man, my hamstring is trying to cramp up too. One of us is dehydrated. And switch. I didn't hold that one, did I? There we go. Try to keep that position. Halfway there. Legs are shaking, arms are cramping. Oh, this is not fun. All right, almost there, 15 more seconds. Five. And then our Russian twist. So remember, we're pointing with the center of the chest. Trying to get these cramps out of my triceps while we're doing this. That is one thing I'm finding to be most challenging, is reminding myself to drink enough water throughout the week. 5 seconds. And straight arm crunch. Straight legs, straight arms. Ribs up and ribs down. Good activation, good engagement. Just make sure not adding momentum, not cheating the movement. All right, almost there. We gotta pop that under the low back. Here we go. Slide your pad under your back, legs up, arms out to the side. Go right into our bicycle. Keep your feet up. Keep your butt up. Let that pad just hold on to your back. Keep those legs up. We're halfway, only 30 more seconds. Thank God. Slow it down, gang. 20 seconds. 10 seconds. Keep pedaling. We're not going fast. We're just staying constant. And time. Core days just kill me. I'll be so happy to get back to some machines. Until then, continue to stay safe, continue to stay active, and I will see you next time.